Everybody, I'm Christina Can. I'm a hypnotherapist and nutritionist. I'm the creator of belief hacking, which is a way to program your subconscious for success. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the difference between spirit and soul. And the reason that I'm going to talk to you about this is because once I learned the difference between these two technologies, it changed my life for the better. And what I really hope that the big takeaway from all of this is that rather than seeing our bodies and ourselves as imperfect and dysfunctional and, not the great, machines like computers and AI, I want to just remove that and actually get you to focus on how amazing your body is, how amazing the technology is, how amazing your energy is, how amazing the fact that you even exist right now is. I want you to be in like awe and wonder of just the absolute, like, inconceivable ability of us. Because I don't think our brains are made to understand the vastness of what's going on. But I'm going to try to put into words the little bits I know to help you out. Okay. So, um, what's the difference between spirit and soul? Well, we live in a polarized place here on earth, right? We have we have negative and positive. We have night and day. We have masculine and feminine. We need these opposites to create the balance because that's how everything is set up. Everything, the universe is always working to achieve balance. And you can see that in nature as well. So, in regards to that polarity and that the quest for balance, there's spirit and there's soul. And these are two different technologies. They're two different aspects that make up your energy or you. Okay, so with that masculine and feminine in mind, let's talk about spirit. So I really see spirit as more of the masculine side of your energy. It's the driving, it's the going, it's the doing, it's the action element in your energetic makeup, right? It's always pushing you. It wants to evolve, it wants to move. Like I think about spirit when I think about hiking a mountain. You're moving up the mountain and you can't wait to get to the top. When you're at the top, it's like this crescendo. That's spirit. Spirit is the top of the mountain. It's the mountain peak. It's that masculine driving force. Okay, so then what's the opposite of that? Soul. Soul is more of this feminine sort of beingness. It is you. You right now in this lifetime are your soul. Your soul is your body, it's attached to your body, and your soul it can be seen in the natal chart when you look at astrology. It is the blueprint based on the cosmos when you took your first breath. So that soul is very much body based. The thing that I want you to know is that souls don't travel with you across lifetimes. Okay. So a lot of people, when they talk about their souls reincarnating and their souls in various lifetimes, that's the part that they're getting wrong. So each soul is anchored into each lifetime, right? So yes, we reincarnate, but our souls don't. Spirit does. Spirit is the constant that travels with us through every lifetime. So spirit holds all the knowledge of every lifetime that's ever occurred for us. It's like the library. And spirit is linked to every soul in every one of our lifetimes. So it's pulling all that data, pulling all that information, pulling all that experience up into, I don't know, some people call it the Akashic records, up into this sort of database. Let's think about it as a database. So yes, you can access that database. There's definitely people who can read that information. The thing I want you to keep in mind too is that you can change that information. You can use spirit to change that information. So even though something's happened, that's not just forever. Like you can change it and you can access it. The way I use belief hacking, that's how we change those records. So nothing is fixed in stone. Don't believe that. Everything is changeable. I mean, you're not going to delete something that happened in the past. You're going to delete your experience, your emotions, your reaction to it, and therefore that kind of deletes it. Anyways, we won't talk about that right now. We'll talk about spirit and soul. I just get so excited about this stuff. So, all right. So let's go back to, let's talk about when you're born, how that works. That maybe that will shed some more light on what these two energies are and how they work. Okay. So Your mom and dad get together and they create life. And so your cells are dividing to create the fetus that is you. As soon as your heart starts to beat, that's spirit coming in and like kickstarting life. Spirit is what gives everything life. So you're alive, right? Your spirit's in there. And you can go back into the womb and clear out traumas and stuff because your spirit's there. So your spirit, when you access spirit, you can remember all that stuff. Now, I in what based on what I know, my experience, my training, my intuitive abilities, when you're in your mother's womb, you don't have a soul yet. You're part of her soul because soul is the body. So you're still in her soul. You're still a part of her. Yes, there's two spirits, your spirit and her spirit, but not two souls. It's like two souls can't coexist in the same body, but spirits can. And here's a different, I'm going to talk about this later on, but you can actually have lots of spirits in one body. You can't have lots of souls in one body because the soul is the body, right? So I won't talk about this now, but yes, anyways, just note you can have lots of spirits in one body. You don't want that unless you're pregnant. You want to just have one spirit in one body so that you're in charge of your body. But anyways, so the baby, you're in your mother's womb. You're incubated, you're growing, you're thriving, you're loving life. Your spirit's like, wow, this is going to be amazing, or not. Sometimes spirit's like, I don't want to do this again. Anyways, as soon as you're born, whether that's through the birth canal or a cesarean, and you take your first breath, then your soul is activated. It's like spirit comes in and activates your soul based on the DNA from your mom and your dad. And as soon as you take that breath, you're a separate soul. You're not in your mother anymore. You have your own body. You are a person unto yourself. And that's what the natal chart is based on, because the natal chart is a blueprint of your soul. So it's based on as soon as you're born, that first breath, and then that's the cosmos. So that's your map for this lifetime. That's your energetic sort of map of who you are, what you're going to do. And it also takes into consideration, past life stuff. So that information is coming down from spirit saying, hey, in a past life, this stuff happened, put that into the natal chart. And, based on your sort of, I guess, the game plan you create before you're incarnated, that natal chart kind of determines how everything's going to go. Not saying there isn't free will, but if you get into astrology, natal charts are fascinating and incredibly accurate. So, okay. So now you're a little soul, you're separate, you and your mom are, living life, and off you go. Now, spirit is going to be recording basically everything that happens. Spirit's with you, evolving, experiencing. Throughout your lifetime, you can actually use spirit. That's how you manifest. That's how, whenever you say something or you ask for something or you want to do something, spirit's there to help you move through that. Soul is there as your energy of what you're here to express and experience in this lifetime. Okay. So our job in a way is to get into our soul and really figure out who we are, what we're here to experience, and all the gifts and amazing abilities we're here to express. So when people talk about, finding your soul or living your soul purpose, that's what they're talking about. Because with society being set up the way it is, we're programmed to kind of block all that off and ignore it and just become little robots that society wants us to be. So the joy and the beauty of life is figuring out who you are on a soul level, because that's where all the magic is. Because everyone's special, everyone's different, everyone has different, energies making up who they are, and different abilities and different, different perspective, different wisdom. So we're snowflakes, right? We're all different. Our souls are also different. And it's up to us to just like be ourselves. That's it. And use spirit to manifest what we want to manifest and what we want to create. So I hope that explains a little bit of the difference between spirit and soul. So when people are talking about my soul reincarnating and my soul lifetime, that's not accurate. It's spirit. When they're accessing the Akashic records, they're accessing that database that spirit has. Oh, the other thing I want you to know is this. Okay, so not all things have souls, but all things have spirit. Okay, so for example, a tree does not have a soul, but a tree has a spirit. Okay, the tree's alive, it therefore has a spirit. And ancient people, indigenous cultures knew this. Of course they did, because they knew everything had a spirit. And that's how traditional shamans work. They work with the spirit. That's the other thing I want you to know is when people talk about spirit guides, why don't they call them soul guides? They don't call them soul guides because your spirit guides are with your spirit, helping you along your evolutionary track. And that means several lifetimes. Anyways, so a tree doesn't have a spirit, but an animal has a spirit and a soul, right? Okay, so what does that mean? That means that a soul is only given to you as you go along the evolutionary sort of highway, if you want to call it. So we kind of start out as like, you know, nothing, like dirt. I don't know. I don't really know how we start out, but I know that there is, if we're an embodied soul and spirit, we started out in a lower rung as like a rock and watched for a long time until we were kind of made into something else. We kind of traveled along this hierarchy and eventually went into animals. And from animals, we became human. So, as a human being, this is like such a special gift. We've worked very hard to get here. This is an honor and a joy. And we're here to experience life in a different capacity with a soul, with gifts, with abilities, and a spirit here to move us along and help us on the journey. So trees, no soul, but a spirit. So you can talk to a tree. You can talk to the spirit of a tree. When I was a little kid, I used to do that all the time. Like I knew everything was alive, right? I mean, I still do, but I don't talk to trees normally. Same with animals, like your pet, your dog. They can, sometimes when I meditate, my dog will come to visit because she was a soul. She and I had a relationship. Like we loved each other. So anyways, I won't get into all of that, but I just wanted you to know there is a difference. There's a hierarchy, and I want you to start thinking about how can you be and how can you express your soul more, and how can you use and access your spirit to help propel you along your path. And when you hear people talking about spirit or soul in these very weird new age ways, just ignore them because I don't think they really got it right. And I want people to know the difference between the two technologies because it helps so much. Okay, here are some things I want you to do, and maybe this will help you understand the difference between spirit and soul and more. Okay, so here are 6 ways to connect to your soul to try to figure out like if you are wanting to know who you are on a soul level. For me, when I think when I connect to my soul and not my programming, right? Because that's a separate false self. When I connect to my true self, to my soul, writing a list and then doing what brings me great joy is the quickest way I can drop into soul. So make a list of all the things that you love, that light you up, that bring you joy, and do that. That's soul, right? The other thing that really helps is if I do a meditation and I focus, I drop into my heart, into that heart chakra, your heart. That's just where you truly are, right? In your heart. Like that's you. So I encourage you to do your meditations and drop into that heart, into your heart chakra, and just sit there and explore it and feel into it because that's where you emanate from. Um, I think another thing too that will help you unlock soul is doing things that make you feel connected to yourself, connected to others. Because when you are connected to your soul, you're operating from a place of true authenticity. And again, love. So activating love, give your family hugs, cuddle, give your pet hugs and cuddles, like just love. That's your soul. Like your soul is here to experience that. And play, do fun things. Do what makes you happy. Be playful and joyful. That's your soul. And it doesn't matter what that is or how that looks. Whatever brings you joy, do that. And then some ways to connect to your spirit Like I said in the beginning, that mountain metaphor, go climb a mountain, put on big crescendo music, listen to music that's like, it builds, it builds and explodes. That's spirit. Spirit is that explosion. Spirit is the eagle soaring. Um, the other thing that I want you to know about spirit is spirit's very connected to your breath. So practice either breath work or breathing meditation. Really breathe into your body. And since spirit is so active, I think whenever we talk about spiritual practice, people think if they just say something or like put a vision board together that they're going to manifest or create the thing. And yeah, it's part of it. But you also have to do the thing to get the thing, right? Spirit is action. Take action. By taking action, that's almost your intent to spirit. You're saying, I want this thing. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get or create or experience. And lastly, spirit always seeks freedom. Okay. Spirit does not like to be locked up or controlled or limited. Your spirit wants to freely flow and express itself. So always seek out people, experiences, anything that allows you to feel free, that allows you to be who you are, that allows you to evolve, because evolution requires freedom. So always seek that out. And know that when it comes to manifesting or creating, it's a team effort. So you want to really embody and be your soul from that authentic, true self place. But you also want to act. You want to take that aligned action with your spirit to move forward and evolve so that you can create and experience all the things that you want to create and experience. So hopefully that was insightful. And if you need any support, I can help you access your true self. With belief hacking, we go into a hypnosis, into just a subconscious opening so that you can really get in touch with who you are on a soul level. And we use spirit to make the changes and clear the issues that are preventing you or blocking you from the life you truly desire. So get in touch. All my contact details are at bigbeautifulsky.com. Have a great one. Bye.